What is up, everybody? Happy hump day to you. I, eh, well, I came out this morning. It's a beautiful, you can see behind me, it's a beautiful, calm, quiet morning. And I thought to myself, I'm going to go throw topwater. Paul and I talked about it on Monday. He told me he'd never caught a fish on a topwater bait. I love throwing poppers, like a Rebel Pop-R, and there's a Lucky Craft popper that I have that are my favorites. And it's so visual and fun, and it's just fun fishing. So I'm like, I come out this morning and I see it was slick conditions out here. And I'm like, I'm going to throw a topwater. Yeah. And I come over into an area where I've had success before. And just as I come down off plane and I shut the big motor off, I'm like, all right, I got to grab I grab the rod. I got my bait caster with me, and I'm going to use that today, and yada, yada, yada. I don't have the box with me. I don't have my topwater box with me. It's in the garage. So I was foiled by the fickle finger of fate. Completely disrupted my morning plan. And of course, once that's all happened, and they weren't all carp, because I saw a couple. I saw a couple of them, and they were smaller fish. I don't know exactly what they were. There's been fish all over this bay on the surface, splashing around, chasing whatever. I see a few terns diving, so there must be some small bait up on the surface. So that really only makes matters worse. That kind of rubs the salt into the wound, because I'm like, what a dummy. I've been in and out of this boat, all my gear so many times and then I try to tell myself, I don't need everything I own in the boat all the time. But I think knowing how quickly I can change my mind, maybe I do need that, Oh, I just see another one right there, and that was a smaller fish. Comes splashing on the surface. So maybe I just put every single bit of thing I own in here and just leave it. I don't know. I just thought that was funny. And we talk, I talk about coming out with a plan and having an idea of how you want to attack your fishing time, so it's more productive. And I attacked mine all right. My plan went out the window before it even. I don't know why my nose is all stuffed up all morning. So I pivoted and I stayed in the same area, and I threw a swim bait, nothing. And I've got a little B-hammer tackle hammerhead football jig on with a net bait chunk trailer. I'm just dragging it on the bottom, and I didn't do any video of it, but I caught a giant perch earlier on it. Tack right off the bottom, and I set the hook, and I'm like, ooh, walleye. It wasn't. It was its kissing cousin, the perch. Boy, he had to be a foot long. Had to be big, solid. There's another. See, I'm telling you, there's fish all over the surface. And I was saying something to Paul the other day while we were out there. I remember 20 years ago, let's say, you would come out, and there were some days where I would do nothing but chase the birds this time of year. And the smallmouth would be schooling up bait and pushing it to the surface. And you'd get a feeding frenzy out here on bait pods, no different than like in the ocean when you had a blitz on bait. you know, and those smallies would push that bait right to the surface, and the birds would be coming from above, and you'd watch them, and you'd see a whole area just boiling with smallmouth. And you'd run, you know, you'd see the birds, and you'd take off and run, and you'd get there, and then, you know, I always caught fish like that, and you could do anything from throw a Senko into it and just let it flutter down through the melee, or I used to throw a jerkbait in there, or any number of things. I haven't seen that out here in years. You know, him and I got talking about it. You know, top water was always good in that kind of a situation. My problem always used to be I'd get so excited. I would be moving the bait so fast that I would kind of pull it away from him, I guess. Yeah, but I haven't seen that in years out here. So, who knows? Well, this ain't doing it, and I got other things I could and should be doing. Finishing up a little punch list on a job that I did not too long ago for the customer today. Got an electrical issue. If anybody out there watching this morning is an electrician or an electrical savant, shoot me a DM. I've got a question that I can't seem to figure out. I've got an open neutral, another fish right there. I've got an open neutral in a circuit somewhere, and for the life of me, I cannot find it. I've checked all the plugs on the circuit. It's not that. So I don't know. I'm headed back there this morning shortly to figure that all out. But all right, I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day. Keep your